Nobody saw what was coming on lap 324 at Martinsville. One hit, then another. Then Bubba Wallace just drove straight through Carson Hocevar like he wasn't even there. 12 cars caught up in the wreck. Wallace's day done. 36th place, and a points collapse that nobody could have predicted coming into that race weekend. And the wild part, that is only half the story. Because while one driver completely self-destructed in one of the most shocking moments of the entire 2026 season, there is already a much deeper conversation happening about what this really means. And I am talking real conversation, the kind that does not stay quiet for long. There are two major stories coming out of the Wallace situation right now. One happened on the track at Martinsville. The other, it is already being debated by the people who know this sport most deeply. And trust me, both of them matter if you care about where this championship battle is heading. So before we break it all down, if you're a real NASCAR fan who lives for this stuff every single week, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Dispatch. And if you love honest, passionate NASCAR talk from real fans, you're in the right place. Now let's talk about what just happened. News number one, and this is the one that has the entire NASCAR garage genuinely baffled right now. Lap 324, late race restart. Martinsville already on edge like it always is. And then, Bubba Wallace just loses it. He gets into the back of Carson Hocevar's number 77 once. Then again. Then just drive straight through him. Not a tap, not a bump and run. Straight through him. 12 cars, gone in seconds. The whole field behind them had nowhere to go. Wallace, done for the day. 36th place. DNF. And I am telling you, everyone watching felt exactly what that moment was. Wallace spoke to Jamie Little on Fox Sports immediately after. Did not hide from it. I misjudged. I didn't appreciate the 3 wide into turn 1 fine, but I misjudged the center of the corner and didn't mean to turn him. What a frustrating day. He owned it, straight up, but the damage, already done. Jeff Gluck from The Athletic called it exactly what it was on the Teardown podcast. Just made one of the more puzzling decisions we've seen all year, really. He was third in points entering today. That move, he just bulldozes Hocevar, stays on him, wrecks himself, takes himself out of the race, drops 8 spots in points, all the way down to 11. And here is the thing. Gluck is right. This was not just a bad racing incident. This was a driver who had everything going his way, throwing it all away in one moment of frustration. Bubba got riled up because Carson put him 3 wide on a restart and put him in a bad spot. But you got to keep it together. You can't lose your cool like that and cost yourself and your team all those points. 3 words. Keep it together. Simple, direct, and right now, the hardest thing for Bubba Wallace to hear. And here's what makes this whole story genuinely painful to sit with. 10 days before Martinsville, Bubba Wallace was on top of the world. His wife Amanda gave birth to their daughter Cameron Jade on March 19th. A baby girl, his second child, and he announced it the most Bubba Wallace way possible. Mid-interview on live TV at Darlington qualifying. Completely casual. Like he was talking about tire pressures. That lap for the 23 was driven by Cameron Jade. You know who that is? That's my baby girl. She was just born Thursday. Think about that for a second. This is a man who missed the birth of his first child, Bex, because he was racing at Kansas. Vowed he would never miss another one, made sure he was there for Cameron Jade, and then showed up at Darlington and qualified second. A new daughter, front row, second in the championship standings. Everything was clicking, and then Martinsville happened. Imagine carrying all of that joy, a newborn daughter at home, a wife who just went through everything, and then throwing away your championship position in one moment of lost composure on track. That is not just a racing story. That is a father's story, a husband's story, a man who had everything going right and let one moment undo weeks of building. As a fan, That is genuinely one of the hardest things to watch this season. Now, that's where news number 2 comes in, because Kyle Petty said something on the broadcast that nobody has fully stopped to process. He said Wallace had double frustration at Martinsville. Not just frustration from a bad race day, double. The second layer, his own teammate Tyler Reddick, winning 3 straight races, getting every headline, every trophy, every conversation in NASCAR. You're getting beat and banged on, you're not having the day you want to have, and the whole time we've talked about this year, we've talked about 23X Line and Tyler Reddick. You race your teammates. You want to be top of the heap in your own team, and sources close to the 23X Line garage suggest the internal dynamic between the two cars has become a real talking point, that the gap in results between the number 23 and number 45 is something the organization is actively working to address before it creates a bigger problem. Now, let me be completely clear. 23X Line Racing has made no official statement about any internal tension. Bubba Wallace has not publicly said anything about frustration with Reddick. Nothing confirmed at any official level whatsoever. Kyle Petty's comments are his own analysis, not confirmed fact from inside the team. But here is what we do know for certain. Wallace went from 3rd in points to 11th in one race. His championship window is closing fast. The man in the other 23X Line car is making history every single Sunday. Is this just a rough patch that every driver goes through in a long season? Or is this the moment that defines Bubba Wallace's entire 2026 title chase? As a fan, I am genuinely torn, because the talent is there, the speed is there, but right now, the composure is the question mark that nobody can ignore, and all of this is happening while Tyler Reddick keeps writing history. 4 wins in 7 races. Every team in that garage asking, how do we close that gap? For Bubba Wallace, the answer starts with one thing: keep it together. Bristol Motor Speedway is next, April 12th. After the Easter break, Bristol is exactly the kind of track where Wallace has shown real pace before. He has won twice at Bristol in the Truck Series. He knows this place. This is where he answers every question being asked about him right now. In front of a new daughter waiting at home. In front of a team that needs him to deliver. Either Bristol is where Wallace resets, and we look back at Martinsville as just one bad moment in a long season. Or this is where the championship dream starts slipping away for real. Either way, the early 2026 season just became must-watch television every single week. And as fans, this is why we love it. The racing, the strategy, the drama, the rivalries. So what do you think? Was Bubba Wallace's move on Hocevar frustration boiling over, or did it cross a line completely? And can he put this behind him and salvage his championship hopes at Bristol? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you love passionate, honest NASCAR coverage like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe to NASCAR Dispatch. If you're the kind of fan who watches every lap, argues about strategy, and cares about this sport the way we do, you belong here. I'll see you in the next one.